Sebastian Michael Cruz here, and today's message is going to be about urgency. So, I'm sure that when you first started your entrepreneurial journey, you had lots of urgency because you were motivated to make money, probably create freedom for yourself. And then along the way, you started doing that. You busted your ass, you made it through challenges, you worked hard, and then all of a sudden, started happening. More money, more freedom, and I'm sure you hit a point where you got to experience the things you wanted to experience, and then all of a sudden that same type of drive, that same type of urgency was no longer there. And what happens to most people is then they'll jump to a different business idea, and they're looking for the external thing when in fact it's internal to get their mojo back, get their drive back, to go, go, go. And when that happens, it's like a person is going up the scale of their own consciousness. And they hit a point where the things that drove them so hard no longer drive them. Because in the beginning, pretty much everybody is driven by not feeling enough, by feeling inadequate, or wanting significance, wanting to look good, wanting to have these things so that people can respect them. And that's what's driving them, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. That's how I started. And then once that starts happening, when we start being more confident with ourselves, we realize we don't need those things to actually function. And the people who don't realize it, they just keep having a void in their, just keep feeling a void, and they think that the next thing is going to fill it, but it never does. When in fact, what's happening is it's more of like the things that drive you are switching. So the things that as they were pushing you, you're pushed by not feeling enough. You're pushed by wanting the things that you didn't have. And then once it hits this breaking point, then that push, that's the highest limit it'll bring you. But then you start needing to be pulled up. And that's pulled up the vision of what you can give, what you can contribute. Because if you had all the money in the world and you had all the freedom in the world, what would you do? And most people go on vacation, do all the things they want to do. Okay, then what? I lay on the beach forever. Okay, well, that's cool and it's great until a certain point. It's like, well, I gotta do something. I gotta create something. And for some people, depending on how long they've been burned out for, how long they've been working, you know, that time on the beach could be a month to like years. But there's going to be a point where it's like, okay, I have skills, I have energy, I want to create something, I want to do, well, that's exciting, that's a good idea, okay? So that's the time where you need to be pulled by your vision. And that's where you need to connect to the vision that lights you the fuck up. And you'll notice that it's got to be something bigger than yourself. It's got to be something bigger than the toys, than the awards. It's got to be something deeper. And you'll notice that those start being the things that start connecting and filling that void, quite frankly. And you start feeling pulled. So you need to follow that, because otherwise what happens is people get stuck in limbo land where they're not pushed by anything anymore. They have the freedom. They don't necessarily need to do the things they used to do. And they're excited about a few things, excited about a couple ideas, where the business is going, maybe another idea, but it's not the fucking tractor beam vision that's pulling them forward. So they're stuck, just swimming around in limbo land. And you can see it. Their energy in the person it's flat, it's lukewarm. It's like if you're waiting for apple pie to get out the oven and to be all nice and hot, and you pull it out and it's just room temperature, completely bland. Now, some of you weirdos might like that, but if you're expecting it to be hot, piping hot off the oven, that's not the experience you want. So you don't want to be a lukewarm entrepreneur. You don't. You want to be dialed into your vision and on fire. And that's where the urgency comes from, because in the beginning, the urgency it starts with, I don't have enough. I need to get enough for me. And then once that starts switching, you're like, okay, I have more than most. Then it starts being like, the urgency once you connect to your vision of like, holy fuck, this is the vision that I know in every cell of my being that I am here to do. And as you connect to that combination for you, that vision for you, then the urgency, the new urgency, the evolved urgency starts coming through. And then urgency isn't like, oh, I'm not enough, I got to create. It's holy shit. This is the mission that I was born for. This is what everything in my life has culminated for. Let's get the show on the road. Let's start moving and shaking and getting it out to the world. Progress. That's the new urgency that you'll have. So you are probably in one of two positions listening to this video. You're either in lukewarm land. Can't even say it because it fucking sucks. If you're in that land, then double down on connecting to your vision. That's the singular focus right now. Not the marketing tactic, not the shiny whatever of the day, not the high profile event. Connect to your calling, your cause, your vision. That's if you're in lukewarm land. Now, if you're in the land where you're feeling urgency at certain times, it's kind of like it ebbs and flows. Fantastic. Pay attention to those times when you feel that it's like you feel like the energy is in your chest and it's pulling you forward to a certain activities, to a certain direction. That's the case for you. Follow that and be like, let me see with new eyes, with new lenses. Let me see in my life the activities I've been doing recently. Okay, these ones haven't been giving me this feeling. This one has, or maybe these two have. And then explore that. What were you doing? What were you connected to? And follow that trail. Because we know it's pretty simple. I mean, we could go really deep on why this is important, or we could just keep it really fucking simple. And the simple thing is, who wants to do business with Mr. Lukewarm there? Nobody. Oh yeah, my business is good. Fucking flat. Nothing wrong with that. Well, yeah, there is a lot fucking wrong with that. If you want to make a big impact, if you want to help people with your full potential, then that being that way is fucked. No. So, and the simplest way is that like achieving your goals is like that energy isn't going to win. The energy that wins is a person on a mission, a person connected, a person who's like, I can see it, I can feel it. And yeah, mistakes are going to be made, but this train is only going one way. Fucking forward. That's the energy that wins. You know that. I know that. So I am here with this little daily message to give you the pat on the back and the kick in the ass to connect to that energy for yourself. Because I know that when you're connected to that energy more and more and more, you're going to be doing the things that you were actually designed to do. You're going to be making the impact that you were born to make. And you're going to be building the empire that I know you've always wanted to build. So that's what I got for you today. Connect to your vision, double down and find that energy that just fucking pulls you forward. And that'll be the new urgency. That'll be the new law of the land, the new compass that guides your journey. And as you do that, you'll be connecting to a whole different power, which obviously gets whole different results. That's what I've got for you today. Speak soon. Sebastian Michael Cruz.